Mental health. In this month of September, we're still speaking about mental health. But in this case, it's different. Together with me is Nabuguzi, a young lady at a tender age that she will mention. Suicide was part of her, and not at this age, but at a young, much more young age. When we talk about suicide, I know there are so many people out there that are going through these tough times, and you feel that your life is not worthy, your life doesn't value nobody, and the only thing you think about is suicide. But as you think about suicide, remember, life is beautiful. Life is immense. Life is amazing. There are people who have been there. There are people who are going through it. And there are people who have triumphed over this challenge of having suicidal minds. She's going to let us know how amazingly she made it and how she's thriving since then. You're most welcome to my podcast.
You are using a lot of energy.
Using a lot of energy because why wouldn't you be happy if somebody tells me that?
Because we have been calm. And then all of a sudden.
It's amazing. It's a great discussion with her, and you're going to enjoy this discussion. Yeah. She's an amazing young lady that when I see her smiling, I feel happy that no matter the issues she's gone through, the challenge she's gone through as a young woman, she's smiling. And she has one of the best smiles.
Brad, you need to be a politician.
Thank you so much. Yeah, tell me. And I'm so humbled having you here. And when I heard about your story and read about your story, I was very moved.
Yeah.
Of how people can proudly come up to speak about their journey, especially a journey of stories people want to keep sacred. But we chose to come up and speak about suicide.
Yeah.
We would like to know, at a young age, what caused you to think about suicide?
At a young age. I actually believe indeed I was younger at the time because this is 2025.
Yeah.
You said the tender age. I guess I'm at the tender age of 32 right now.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, that means I was it 10 years ago?
Yeah.
2014 actually. That's 11 years ago. 11 years that means I was 21.
Yeah, very young.
And I grew for the kid that I was at the time.
Yeah.
And I believe it's a thing of not being exposed to how life works.
Yeah.
And you just come innocent to the world. Whatever comes, whatever you hear, you actually want to believe it because I think it also matters the kind of society that you've been brought up in.
Yeah.
Like society, I mean home, that which you say, you actually mean it.
Yeah.
There are no cutting corners.
Yeah.
If mom is not going to be around, she's going to explain to you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like even at my big age that you called tender, I think that's something that I'm still struggling with.
Yeah.
That when I speak with someone, and they tell me something, I actually believe because I don't see a reason as to why they're telling lies.
Yeah.
So finding myself in this relationship and I'm giving my whole because I don't know how you say I love you and you're 1 foot out, 1 foot in.
Yeah.
So the relationship that I was in at the time is what broke me. Not that it is the one that led me to suicide because the time when I was feeling that much pain, I also had myself ruminating on all these things that I've been struggling with in life, all the things that I have not worked in my life. From me being born at the time when my dad had already died, and then having to struggle with that process of denial and waiting for him to come back. And then teenage is when you make peace with it. You're like, actually, I think he won't return. You just have to live with the idea of having one parent. Yeah. But then this one parent, there is this so much care that you're handling them with, because you feel like, oh, I shouldn't do this to my mother. My mother is really struggling to make things work for us. Then somewhere when I think when I was 7, let me see, 3,
Mhm.
I was 8,
Mhm.
and I saw her being run down by a taxi. And my brothers at the time, because I have 2 brothers, were in boarding school. So I spent more time with her than they did. So most of the things that she would go through, I would see and I would absorb. So when I saw her run down by a taxi, I think I went away from hoping that dad will come back to, oh my God, she could actually go as well.
Yeah.
So for me as a kid, before I got to the teenage, I was constantly in fear that any minute I might not have a parent at all.
Yeah.
But also when I joined boarding school, I think I was still 8 at the time, going to 9. It made me, I knew I didn't have a dad, but the peers that I had in school made it too obvious, because they were talking about
The
2
dad.
parents.
Yeah.
They had a story about their dad, they
Yeah.
had a story about their mom. You just have your mom.
Yeah.
So it kind of embarrassed me. I don't know how kids process things, but for me it was shameful.
Yeah.
And so I stopped associating a lot with my peers, because I felt like, what if they find out I don't have a father?
Okay.
So I was very, very reclusive. I was very much on my own between 8 and I think 12, boarding school. And it didn't help, because I joined boarding school because mom had to go up country. Where in up country during holidays a bit, when you would go,
Yeah.
you're still in the house, mostly alone, watching TV, cartoons mostly,
Yeah.
So my world between 8 to 12 was just myself. And then going to school, being met with bullies. I was very gigantic for my age.
Yeah.
And yet, ironically, I had a lower age than the others.
Yeah.
So the kids that took offense really used to bully me. Like, yo, I held that girl in P7. I told her I'll beat you, and she didn't come back.
She didn't come back in
She did not.
Uh-huh.
No, she did not come back to me bullying
You
me.
had to defend yourself.
Yes, I don't even know why I took so long, because I should have handled that matter from the time I joined. But I let her go on with all these things, and I made a resolution that as I joined secondary school, because my brother was known to be stubborn, my middle brother, and I was like, I think this guy is handling life very well. I'm going to turn stubborn. So in my teenage, when I joined secondary school, I made sure I could be as loud as I could. Not because that was my nature, but I wanted to survive. I didn't want any other person to bully me. But I was happier. I presented myself as happier. But I think when I found my voice, it was very interesting. I could tell stories. People were actually interested in listening to these stories. I laughed more. I think there was so much that had been suppressed that wanted to come out at that age. When I found my voice, when I could speak, I did not allow anyone to overstep, be it a teacher or a student. Now, I was between overperforming to protect myself, to also be hyper alert of anyone that is trying to cross. As a teacher, you would do something, and oh, why did you say that? Why would you do that? Yeah.
When we talk about your dad, the passing of your dad, where was your dad at that time? Or did he fall sick for some time?
I didn't find him. I was born when he had already died.
Wow. So your dad left your mom
Pregnant. Yeah.
Okay. Are you the last born in the family?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I can tell. So you had a lot of stories about dad, and these are the questions that come and say, "How come I don't have a dad?" So
it wasn't how come I don't.
Yeah.
I at some point I thought he was coming back.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't, because I won't say that it was movies that made me think that, because we didn't really have TV at the time. Yeah, you could watch TV from the neighborhood, but it's not that we were watching movies of people returning. Perhaps I did not fully understand what death was, but I just always looked forward to this man coming back, and I really wanted to be the first person to spot him. So I hung out a lot because everyone in the family has their album. So dad's albums, I always hung out there, just looking at him, asking questions, asking mom what kind of person he was. He was a supporter of SV. Is it SV Villa? Is it SC Villa? And I was like, yeah, I'm also a Villa supporter. Like, I really wanted to have a relationship with this man. And when I learned that he used to sing in the choir at St. Mary's Cathedral, Ruwaga, when we would go to the cathedral, I would have my full attention in the choir because I wanted to be the first person that sees him come back. And then he didn't. So the anticipation or the denial turned into anger now. I think at about 12, because now with all the bullying that would be happening, I think you don't process things very well. Even as kids, yes, but even as adults. But I'll speak about myself as a child, that I always had to find who was to blame. Sometimes it wasn't the people that were making life hard for me. So I think it was easier for me to blame dad because I saw that mom was struggling to make ends meet. And I was like, you just died. And now mom has to struggle. I ended up in this school. Maybe I would have been in a better school and I wouldn't be struggling. How dare you die and just leave us and just leave mom to struggle?
In this whole process, was mom aware of the struggles you were going through as a child? Did you ever sit with your mom and say, Mom, tell me, will my dad ever come back?
No, I instead asked her to get me a dad.
Okay.
Yeah. And it at some point, it looked like she wasn't being practical. And I'll tell her, how about him?
How about him? So you just wanted to have a male figure as long as you can play the role of a dad.
I don't know if it's about male figures, but I think there's a time when she mentioned that I grew very close to the fathers in specific homes. And I think I've also seen that as I grow up, that maybe, let's say it is your wife, that I have a friendship, or that your mother, let me see, your wife could be my mother's friend. But when I get into the house, I'll be closer to you. We will sit at the dining longer. Because I think inside of me, I would have that longing of a parent that is male.
When you talk about that, we've seen people have issues of not growing up being hugged. And as they grow older, it becomes, I would not call it a defect, but it comes into their lives. And that's why sometimes people would claim people wanting all the time to be hugged. and this, at some point, you can't interpret it, but it happens. And I've seen it, that some people have grown up doing that, and at their maturity age, they always hug themselves. But when you become a Rotarian, when you're Rotarian, for us Rotarians, we hug, and it's okay for us. So you'd rather join Rotary to do this.
Oh, wow.
So at this point, tell us about mom. I know mom, as mothers, becoming single parents at a tender age. I believe that your siblings were also young, your senior brothers, and whatever, you were young. How did mom manage to pull through?
I feel like that's a story for her to tell.
A story to tell.
Because I feel like sometimes I sit back and I'm like, how did she manage this? Because while she was struggling with money, I wouldn't paint her as the perfect mom there is, but I think she was the perfect mom for me. That even in belief systems that believe in reincarnation, I can't imagine my life with someone else other than her. I was safe in her hands. She was mine, and I was hers. I think at some point when the world was just about us, we managed to create a bond that is unbreakable.
Now,
It's very
I can
much
say when you landed
unbreakable.
in the teenage age, in
Yeah.
the teenage age, this is where so many issues happen, especially with girls and then boys as well. We tend to hide into ourselves and becoming secretive, becoming ourselves. And as you was going through this emotional challenge, at the time we were wanting to connect with your dad, I believe there's a lot as a teenager. So tell us, how did you manage as a teenager there?
I was loud.
Yeah, very loud.
But I only found peace during holidays.
Okay.
Because now I would at least keep quiet.
Okay.
And I'd lock myself in the bed. During holidays, I
Yeah.
would lock the bedroom and just be there.
Yeah.
And wait for mom to come back.
Okay.
Of course, my brothers would be there, but just wanted time for myself. Let me just keep quiet and recharge for another time.
Okay. But that I would call it isolation. Didn't isolation
No.
affect you so much?
I wouldn't call it isolation. I believe I'm actually very introverted.
Yeah.
But because I had to survive, I had to play the role of an extrovert. I had to draw strict boundaries around me.
Yeah.
But in many cases, I would rather be on my own. I'm very comfortable. Like even when I would be in class, maybe I would always prefer the back seat. I preferred being a spectator of things. And yet somehow I find myself in spaces of work where I have to be engaging with people. And I have to really prepare for some time. I'm like, we are going out. We are going out of the house. We are going out of the house. We're going out of the house and then prepare. So it's not, I wouldn't call it isolation. I'm just okay there.
Like any other introverts. Now, let's dive into that life where you choose to take up a boyfriend or to take up a relationship. Because I know so many people struggle through this, teenagers, the young girls, where we move in for love. And where even now people are asking themselves, is really love there? And
I still believe in it.
You're going to tell us whether really love is there. So tell us about this story of where you land this boyfriend. Who promises you heaven on earth.
I don't even think he promised me heaven on earth.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Okay, maybe sometimes I forget things.
Yeah.
But I don't think he promised me heaven on earth. I think sometimes we just love the idea of being in a relationship.
At what age was that?
21. 2021, around that long. Or was I 19? 2021.
Yeah.
Around that age, campus. I think it's just the idea of love that gets you excited and consumed in this relationship. But if I was older, if I was at this age, maybe I wouldn't be in that relationship. Because when I looked back, it doesn't make sense.
At the time?
Yeah.
At the time? Right?
I think I was just excited. Like I have a boyfriend.
But he was a boy, and you're
a man. He was a man, and there was a
yeah. What made it? What do you think it was a mistake at the time?
Don't call it a mistake.
It wasn't worth it.
Don't call it a mistake. Yeah. But I think, like I said, I think I enjoyed the idea of love. And I mean, you watch movies.
Together.
Romantic movies. And
the promises.
He
made promises, I'm sure.
He must have.
To win you.
He must, I don't know.
Yeah. So how did you fall in love with him?
How did I? Yeah. I liked the appearance. Yeah. I liked his appearance at the time. Don't do that.
Don't do that. No, you liked his appearance. Okay, there's so many.
The problem is when we are in the relationship, this person is very, very handsome.
Yes.
And you're like
until later when you find out that actually had a monster.
When you leave, you're like, I also do not want to call him a monster, by the way, because like I have been pointing out recently, or non recently, I've been sharing bits and pieces of of the story in my podcast,
Yeah.
where upon reflection, I also realized I had a hand in my own suffering.
Okay.
Because I had no boundaries at all.
Yeah.
Forget this performative thing.
Yeah.
In actual sense, I had no
You were in
boundaries.
love.
I didn't even know what boundaries. No, it's okay to be in love and still have boundaries. You
When
don't.
you're in love,
You're
they
not
say love is
self-aware,
blind.
but you're not even self-aware.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of relationship are you in? So he had the right to do whatever he wanted to do.
But I
You see
believe
that?
at 21, you knew what you wanted a little bit.
Zero.
But what mentioned that thing that drew you to him? Because he may not be the
I
only
just
one.
liked that person, I think.
Was he tall?
My mom asked me why I liked him and I didn't have a reason.
Maybe she saw that you shouldn't have liked him in the first place. Was he tall? Was he handsome?
He was tall.
Was
dark
he handsome?
skinned.
Dark skinned. And
Yeah.
did he have the money?
He gave me money. Meanwhile, let me
Yes,
tell you what
yes,
happened.
yes.
He's the first. So we were one time talking,
Mhm.
and he was like, "I'm gonna send you money," and I asked for what?
Yeah.
I said, "Just."
Mhm.
But you know, Bouquet Day at the time, I
Yeah.
think Bouquet Day was still new.
Yeah.
2013, 2014.
Mhm.
And there used to be stories of people that have traveled and people in the country are stealing their money. And in my head, I'm like, someone wants to friend me.
Mhm.
So the first money he sent, I actually went to Western Union or
Mhm.
MoneyGram and
Mhm.
picked it. And I kept it.
Mhm.
Because I didn't know this money is for what.
Wow. You were a very innocent girl.
I was scared. I was like, this person wants to friend me. So I kept it. And then he sent me, I was like, I think he's used to send money on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Oh, is it?
Exactly.
So I took like a 10K one time.
And enjoy it.
I took another, like,
Money was sweet.
I was like, I think this is my money.
And money was sweet at the time.
So I used it.
When you talk about Western Union,
Yeah,
I need to know, well, did he live in the country?
he wasn't around.
So how
He moved.
did he moved?
Yeah.
He left his girlfriend.
No.
Did you connect with him while he was still in the country?
No, when he had already left.
So you fell in love with somebody online.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. No, I can see
Which
the
doesn't
online
make
love.
sense.
No, it makes sense because love is love, no matter where you are.
Zero.
What? These guys were.
It requires.
If you're falling in love,
It requires.
she's disputing the online love or falling in love with somebody
do not,
or long distance.
I
Yeah.
do not. I actually do not have a problem with long distance relationships.
Yeah.
But with the way how society is running and how online works,
Yeah.
you realize there's so many things that you do not know about someone
Yeah.
that you get to know about when you are with them.
So how did you connect with him?
How did I connect with him? I
Yeah.
don't remember how this thing started.
How did it start? Because was it
I-
through your mobile? Did you online chatting? How did you connect
Chatting.
with this person?
Chatting.
Was it online?
Yes.
So you were exposed to a phone at an early age, and that was wrong.
Early age? Compass. What are you talking about?
That was too.
But I had a phone. I had a phone at 16.
Yes, at 16. Did you
Yeah.
get him through how? On Facebook?
Yeah.
On Facebook, yes.
But I don't even know how I found him.
Yeah.
Oh, he came. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I think he came.
But did you happen to meet him physically?
Yes.
at one
Yes.
point?
Yes.
Was he Ugandan?
Yes.
He's Ugandan, yes. So when you met him physically, were you disappointed by the meeting? Should we call it a disappointment on physical meeting? Because when you're dating somebody online,
Yeah.
you have that picture of how they appear.
But the pictures
they
were also
look.
there. Yeah.
But then when they appear physically,
No, he was the same.
it was the same.
Yeah. You have to be two people that are level-headed and are in the
Level-headed.
same space. Really, there has to be conversations to be had. Things I didn't know
Okay.
at the time.
Let me ask you something.
Mm.
On a scale of 100, somebody in love, at what percentage should they be at least to be
Huh?
accommodative? Yes.
What's that again?
At what percentage? Okay, for example, on a scale of 10,
Mm-hmm.
we can't be 40 and you're 60, isn't it? In love. You can't have 100% love and then I'm 40%. It has to have a balancing.
I've never found out what the percentages look like.
Yes, unless if you're to accommodate somebody,
but
there are
like I
certain things,
say,
levels they should be at for you to accept the other weakness as well. So to you, at what balancing would you do if you're in love 100%?
yeah.
Where should he be? Or if he's 100% in love, where should you be? If you can't be 100, at least where should you be to have a medium of a relationship?
I'm not a relationship specialist.
Yes, but
I'm not a relationship specialist, but and I don't know about percentages either. I care for
it must balance.
Not it must balance,
Yes.
but do you see me the way how I see you?
Okay.
Do I honor you in a like when I turn my back? Do I feel safe that you're not going to turn against me?
Yeah.
It's that kind of safety that you exist in, like the two of you. I do not want to be scared that the moment I walk away from you, things are going to fall apart.
Okay.
It's a thing of being honest in like if you give me your word, do you actually mean it? Yeah.
Okay. Now, during that, I would want us to know during his visit. I don't know how long was it.
I think it was around 4 months.
For a month. During that,
and I think
month,
I saw him like 3 times.
3 times in a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when he was coming, I was very excited. It's like,
you were excited, yes.
No plans.
No plans. Only
no,
us.
Yeah.
Only two of us.
Only to realize
what
that.
did he give you? Because you see, whatever I'm trying to question you, there are many women out there that are going through the same. And you should know that you're not the only one that have gone. There are those who have actually, where the men travel into the country with that vigor, and they see them once or twice. What reason did he give you? Being in the country for 1 month, I think he said only 3.
I think he said he just has a short time. There's so much to be done. Yeah. And then for the first time, he kind of like, I've come here and I've realized you're the only honest person here that I've been dealing with. My brother didn't do this. My brother didn't do that. Yeah. My uncle hasn't done this. Yeah. And so you're like, hey, yay, I'm honest. I'm honest. Nothing.
So when he traveled back, did he continue with the communication?
By the time he left, I had made a decision that I didn't want to be in it. And yet it was also painful. Yeah. I think one of the things that people do not understand is when I say that I'm the person that left, but I was hurt as well, terribly hurt. He started begging and asking for forgiveness and how he didn't intend for it to be as such and things like that. And there were some people in my case that were saying, oh, he's apologetic.
And others were happy?
Probably. I don't know about others. Because I wasn't discussing my relationship. Yeah. So it was really the few that knew that would be like, oh, at least he's apologizing. Why don't you take him back? And I gave it a 3 months chance. Yeah. But I was totally different. Yeah. At that time, I knew what I didn't want. And he was totally different in the 3 months. He was really showing his changing. And the performance could only be sustained for that long. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, excuses, I'm out.
Yeah. I see a lot of betrayal in this. And betrayal of where you give yourself someone. Your whole, as you say, as a young innocent.
But did he ask for the whole?
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah. Like at some point, I want to say I saw myself as a victim. Okay. But like I said, when you look back, you also have to take accountability of your inactions. Yeah. What is it that you didn't do for yourself? Because you're looking at someone honoring you, but are you honoring yourself? Yeah. You might be honoring them and waiting for them to honor you as well for you to feel whole, but are you honoring yourself? Yeah.
Do we blame age in this whole scenario?
I can't say age because I've seen oh, there are kids that are very experienced in this thing. They're very exposed.
They're very exposed. Yes.
I see kids younger than I am giving relationship advice, and I'm actually listening. I'm like,
yeah.
where did you learn all these things?
Yeah.
I see there's an American show, Pop the Balloon or Fine Love. Yeah. And kids are 22 and they're saying things that I had no idea of at that age. Yeah. So I think it's a matter of exposure. There are people that know things earlier than others. Yeah. Yeah.
And the experience, maybe. And the great experience we go through teaches us the best. Tell us, what did you learn through that experience as a young woman?
Honoring myself. But of course it didn't happen. It wasn't an immediate overturn of events. Yeah. Because as I cried in my hostel room, because I cannot explain that pain that I felt in my chest, but it felt like my chest was very constricted, that it hurt. And I was, I think, I got myself on the knees folded and I was just pressing at my chest, like, what is happening? And in that moment is when I felt like, I think it makes sense why people commit suicide. Yeah. Die by suicide is not commit. Die by suicide. It makes sense why people die by suicide. Yeah. Because back then I always wondered, how would you get to that point? Yeah. It wasn't coming from a place of judgment, but I was very curious what could lead someone to that. Yeah. And so in that moment is when it messed. I'm like, this is why. Yeah. So what can work for us? And I was really looking for, okay, what have I heard in the news that people use? Of course, I wasn't going to fall off a building because I was like, that's very painful. Yeah. Like, that's what I can't manage. Yeah. And in me thinking about rather trying to weigh out the options of what could work faster and easier and smoother, that's when I started thinking about myself dead. Like, I saw that I would find more peace there. Yeah. I would be painless. Yeah. But then I saw my mother crying over my dead body. Yeah. And that spooked me a lot. Yeah. So the reason that's why I stayed.
Now, as you go through all this emotional, distress, I call it emotional distress, as a young girl, you said your mom was supportive in all this. Were you open enough? Because I know sometimes introverts, we choose to keep things to ourselves until when things blow out.
There's a time when my mom said that, because when I was telling her about my relationship, she said, because she's the one who probed me. Yeah. I think she had noticed that I was in a relationship or I was in love. Yeah. And she was like, I don't have a problem with you being in a relationship. I just don't want you to be hurt. Because if you ever get hurt, I'll be hurt twice. So I couldn't tell her.
So all this you suffered as an individual. Okay, you didn't tell
Because I felt like she would be very hurt.
You didn't tell mom, but I think girls always have their besties that they sometimes share. Did you have a friend?
I wasn't discussing relationship.
Yeah. You didn't disclose to your girlfriend or any
I don't know. I didn't find it important. I don't know. At that time, I don't know. Yeah. I didn't know much. Yeah. Like I said, if perhaps I was involved in such conversations, I would have known what I deserve, maybe. Yeah.
So would you advise the same girl going through the same avenue at this time to be open up and have somebody to discuss with in such times to avoid the repercussions later? Because when we keep certain things to ourselves, much as even speaking out can also cause us a lot of trouble, would you advise a young woman, a young girl, or even when we talk about young, we think it happens on 20s, even 40s, 30s are going through a lot of distress because of the failed relationships. Yes. I think the relationships have no age. Love.
A broken heart has no age.
A broken heart has no age.
Yeah.
What would you advise someone going through that? How would they handle it? If at all it happened to you now where you are, how would you handle this? If you had love that is actually giving you palpitations.
For what?
You know,
For what? No, Tegwa Kaluba. I'm actually very tender, but
yes.
I've learned in this season of growth. You see this seasons change.
The seasons change.
Whatever will be, will be.
That's why we add on and say people change, things change, and the world changes.
Maybe that's where we come in. But in the season of growth, like I said, things did not turn immediately. That even when I was crying at the time and I was saying, I matter, I didn't know what that meant. Like, I matter how? Because I can also, let's track back a bit. I joined the Xaverian movement in primary school that taught us about, I think, the rank of society. I don't know, I don't remember the exact pillars of the movement, but I remember, I think I was in primary 6 at the time, 11-year-old, and they were telling us the ranks, I think, of society. The society comes first. It's us who build community, it's us who build society, and I think that's the anthem. We had society at the top, your neighbor, every other person, every other thing, and you come at the bottom. So perhaps they did not mean it in a manner of people pleasing, but it was easy for me to look out for who needs support, but I could not invest the same energy in myself. So it's a thing of what you know. Like I said, what was I doing in a relationship if I wasn't self-aware? If all I think is, who do I care for, and I do not know how to care for myself? I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely.
So you do not know these things, and yet you claim that you give them. So that's why I also say, was that even love? Because I didn't know much. How do you say you love someone when you don't know how to love yourself?
What is it about? I think what I learned from you is that, one, taking full responsibility of the decisions that you take in your life, and then taking full responsibility of the actions that you have taken.
The inactions that you didn't.
You didn't.
The inactions that you subjected yourself to.
Yes. So it's sometimes also good to go through the experiences that we've gone through. At some point, we become so complacent because we're too comfortable, and then the discomfort gives birth to certain things as well. And here we are also to learn through how you've triumphed. You're amazing at your tender age of 32. You've managed to have the smile, because some people permanently are damaged by love. I mean, I would put it in quotes. Some people have actually lost it, and they can never recover again.
I mean, you see it a lot on social media.
Yes. Others, they judge them. Others, they would call you silly at that point. You're too young to fall in love. You're too young to have a man. But at that time, you needed two, because that was a stage as well.
Too young to have a man? Kids are getting married at 22.
Wow.
I was 25, and I think there was a girl. Was she 2 years my junior in high school? I was 25. That means, rough estimate, she could have been 23 or maybe 24, or maybe she could have been my age mate. But at that age, there are people who are already divorced and have 2 kids, or they're already single mothers. I think as long as you're an adult, you're open to exploring what life looks like. And it's not that what my experience is what the other person's experience is. For some people, the relationships they first get into are the ones that remain for them as permanent. And for others, you try and try and try and try. And until you probably find the right person.
Wow. Taking responsibility is the way, I think, to go, because we are yet to find more challenges and more experience. I think is better. When we talk about the suicidal, moments, and I mean that experience that you had into going to reaching a level of taking your life, that comes up because of the betrayal that came in.
It wasn't just a relationship. There were so many things that I had suppressed in my life.
And then the relationship,
it was like
escalated?
It was that time to break.
At what point did you think about taking your life, thinking that life was not meaningless on own? Because when we have the suicidal, moments, it's means that we've already sunk into depression.
No,
Levels of depression.
It's not always that.
Yeah.
It's not that all suicides are a result of depression.
Okay.
There are different things that push people into ideating suicide.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lack of conflict management skills as well that you could look at.
Yeah.
Because I'm in this whole relationship, and that exact moment where it hurts the most is when I feel like I think the best way to take away this is to just off myself.
Yeah.
But also depression, for the engagements that I've had with the professionals, they've explained that most of the times they consider assessing someone for depression if they've been sad for a length of 2 weeks. So there could have been sadness that there was this unavailability of the person, but that's not something I can establish at the point, because I'm seeing myself coming from, I love this person so much, to, oh my God, this isn't it actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's because now you see, I think you've had stories of people that could possibly go betting their school fees.
Yeah.
And in the end, they just want to jump off buildings.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the thought process takes. I think that's a conversation I'm yet to have and find out. But some people just act on it immediately. Yeah.
So you held on to it for a long time, and because of this failure of this relationship, did you get any help when those moments came? Who came to your rescue?
But no one knew.
Yes, no one knew. And how did you really try to fight it? I need to see this capacity. How did you manage? Because someone out there is going through the same.
I was masking.
Yes. So how did you realize that actually, my time is going, and I should wake up and rescue myself? Because
I told you in the moment of trying to figure out what could work, I chose to stay for my mom.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is known that life got better immediately, that I know very well that this person loves me, and therefore I should choose them. But I pushed on, especially for her. And because I realized that I had become a danger to myself, I chose to have a roommate for my 4th year in law school. And I'm so glad, because no one saw that I was struggling. The moment I would walk out of my room, everything is okay. It's very performative, remain functional. No one
in the
saw
outside
it.
world.
Yeah, but when the moment I would enter my room, I would start all over. What is it haven't I done? Where did I fail? What prayers haven't I said?
So self-reflection.
That's not reflection. You're crucifying yourself with these questions, trying to find answers that you aren't intentionally trying to find, but are rather trying to sink yourself deeper in sadness, because I would cry a lot. And so I started reducing time with myself. I started being more out with my friends in their rooms. I didn't see them asking questions. Perhaps they asked and I would just smile it off until 3rd year got done, because at that time I was in 3rd year law school. 3rd year got done, and 4th year I asked my roommate, my friend, my closest at the time, whether she could accept me as her roommate, because her roommate was done with her course, and so law was still going on for the last year, and she was okay with it, and I managed quite well.
She didn't notice nothing.
It wasn't nothing, because that is 2015. Let's count from 2014, because we were still friends at the time. 2014, she was not aware. At the time when, of course, by the time we were roommates, I was no longer ideating suicide. But I was too scared of love, because it felt like love poses a danger on my life. And I also became the person that doesn't want to feel things.
Yes.
Like I would just try to make sure that you don't get into my heart. Just
Did you
stay on
ever
the
fall in love
surface.
again?
I
after that?
did.
I did.
I think
Yeah.
I did,
You
but
think?
still, I wasn't self-aware. These are not things that you have learned.
Yeah.
You're still going off the old scripts that you had in mind, the visions that you imagine, and still it wasn't relationship. I would be
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Casual.
looks nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
guy, you look
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
but no.
So you never dated again since then?
Sadly,
You never dated again.
sadly,
Should we call it
I just noticed. I noticed
that you're
because sometimes you get. I got 20. This is 2014.
yeah.
2017. So there were. I had 3 suicidal ideation periods.
Yeah.
That's the very first one. Then somewhere 2016, when I was done with campus, I volunteered at a certain event whose name I do not want to disclose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a guest that had a child
Mhm.
who was one of the guests.
Yeah.
I don't want to give so many
Yeah. It's okay.
specifics.
Yeah.
And because the child was left in the volunteers' hands because the dad had to go to work,
Mhm.
I offered her extra help for her to be recognized by the older guests because the older guests were really networking,
Yeah.
and this one was just out there playing.
Yeah.
So I don't know I do not know if it is a thing that she said to her father
Mhm.
that made him more interested in me,
Mhm.
or this guy just had his motives
Yeah.
at the onset. Because the moment he left her with us, he told her, make sure you get all your friends' numbers,
Yeah.
your new friends' phone numbers. And this girl was writing our phone numbers. And then at the end of the event, he called. He was like, oh, you've really helped
Yeah.
my daughter
Yeah.
make some sales.
Yeah.
I would like for us to discuss.
Yeah.
This man was old.
Mhm.
So I met with him and we didn't even discuss about,
Mhm.
oh.
It was another laugh.
No, we didn't discuss about,
The event or anything.
no, we didn't discuss about the ways I could support the child.
Mhm.
Fresh out of campus, I was very excited that this is going to be a good job.
Mhm.
And then I realized this man has other motives. And in my head, I'm like, oh, is that sugar daddy?
Yeah.
He was old.
Mhm.
And because he drove us to Hotel Muyenga, I guess.
Yeah.
And then when the waitress came to ask what it is that we wanted to eat,
Yeah.
he told her, ask my girlfriend. And in my head, I was like,
Yes. He had already elevated your
elevated?
status.
I did not want. What do you mean?
He had already elevated you to the
We
level
have
of a girlfriend.
met. We have met
Yeah.
to discuss ways work.
Yes. And now he's elevating
But
you.
now I'm not comfortable with this. But then I also can't say that
Yeah.
because it felt like maybe I'm overreacting.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be chill.
Yeah. You are just a girlfriend to him. Maybe you
No.
overthought about it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
When your intuition says you're in danger, listen.
Listen. Yeah. So by that,
I do not doubt my intuition
so
ever
by
since
that
then.
addressing you as the girlfriend on the first day out.
It's not a day out. We had met going to discuss work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe his intentions were different.
That's
Your
the
intentions
thing.
were different.
That's the thing.
You've come to
'Cause he
discuss
used-
work, he's come to date.
Date
Yeah.
someone who is your child's age mate.
It's a sugar man, sugar dad.
That's the thing. Because now for me, imagine I'm already out of campus.
Yeah.
And this is when it hits me. These are the sugar daddies we learnt about in senior 2. Because he's talking about things like, I'm going to give you a good life.
Good life.
Who asked you?
For a good life.
Who said I'm struggling? Yes, I know I don't have money, but where
Yeah.
is this coming from? Like in my head.
Yeah.
And then he starts calling himself my boyfriend. And I'm like, what is that? I was like, you're old.
Yeah.
Like that one really came out because I was like, you're old. What do you mean? I was like, no, I'm just a young boy. When are you introducing me to your mother?
Yeah.
And I was just so scared. I remember him touching my phone, rather my hand, my phone, and I was just so much in fear and disgusted at the same time Because in my head, I'm like, I'm supposed to respect this person.
Yeah.
But now, how do we navigate this? Now, I remember getting so scared that I could not even, I didn't want to show that I was scared.
Yeah.
When food arrived, I don't know what else that man said. I focused on the food and distracted myself.
Yeah.
And I think that is where I started coping with food as a stress management thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think from then on, every time something hits, I'll be like, where do you go and eat?
Yeah.
Even if I've just eaten. The moment I feel like life is rattled a bit.
You look for food.
It's not even looking. My brain is demanding that because it wants to survive.
Yeah.
And now it's just 3 years ago, I think, when I started talking to myself, calm down. We just ate. We are not hungry.
Yeah.
We shall go through this and it will be done.
Yeah.
So I remember after that, I think I also went home, and the only person I could talk to was still a friend who was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I could only talk to her because she had shared, for her, she had been abused, truly. Like, she had been sexually abused by an older man. And I only felt safer to, like, because I knew she would understand. Yeah. But even in the middle of us having this conversation on the phone, I felt guilty for feeling like a victim because I hadn't been raped, I would say. And yet she had. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, that's the problem that we do. Sometimes we experience things and we want to downplay them. Yeah. What you have, the fear that you have experienced is actually valid. Yeah. But I reached home and I wanted to sanitize myself. And then I asked myself this question, okay, so what happens in the minds of the people that have been raped? Yeah. Because I wanted to dip myself in jig. I reached home and sanitized my phone wherever he has touched. Yeah. So what happens to the person who has been raped indeed?
Was it because of it? There's this saying that the way they say age doesn't matter.
No, it matters.
We've
seen, to me. Seen, I don't know about others.
There's something I wrote on my Facebook, and we're talking about that when a girl of 30 gets married to a 65-year-old, it's okay.
No.
and to a man who is 30 gets married to a woman of 65, there is a problem. So really, does age matter in a relationship?
It depends on other people, truly. Yes. It depends on other people. Yeah. I don't have reason to be with you with a sagging skin like this. You're old.
You're old.
You're old. You are my father.
So what happens now? Should the old not get married because they're old?
I'm not saying that. Yeah. People have different preferences. Like I would say, like my preference would be for a tall, dark-skinned man. Yeah. Someone else might want something different.
Yes. Yeah. So if somebody is 50, what wife age should they get?
I don't know about that. It's their preference. It's their preference.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes
taste and preferences differ.
Preferences, and also, actually, society also judges us at the end of the day. But you find a 32-year-old.
It's about you.
You find somebody 32-year-old, and you're approached by a 50, and he will marry you, and you're comfortable.
It's still the comfort that you have. I think it's about you.
The comfort,
really.
The individual, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I have no business with my father's engagement.
Yeah.
What? You're supposed to be having grandchildren. Wow. I am not judging them.
The men are watching you there.
No, I'm not judging them.
And don't judge the men.
I have
because
stopped.
There's nobody who is old. If you're 60 and you're getting your 30, please go ahead. It's your choice. It's about the individual choice, and for herself, she says,
enjoy.
It has nothing to do with her father's age.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, was it also relationship related?
No, what the heck?
Yeah. So how do you go into also the second?
No, that was anxiety that came into play. Yeah. So in the relationship that I was in, when this guy was doing things, I remember there was a time when his brother, I think, perhaps he was cleverer. Yeah. He could see that what this person was doing was unfair, but I couldn't express it. So I saw him at one time trying to ask him to play fair. But he said, "Nah, she's strong. Those things don't move her." And being strong at the time felt like the wise thing to be. I was strong for my friends. I was strong for the things that I could have weathered in my life. Because when I would tell my story, people were like, "You are strong, you know?" And so when he said that, I'm like, cool. And now when this man that was posing as someone that wanted to give me a job, at some point he also mentioned that. But he was like, "What's your mother like?" You know, he asked me those questions. I'm like, "I can tell your mother is a strong woman." And indeed she is. And he says, "And I'm sure you're also strong." So even when I was scared, but there was this compliment that I thought was a compliment that I am strong, I couldn't show that I was scared. So I was like, "But I'm strong, you know, let me go on with this. Let it ride until we get out of it." So when I was doing my postgraduate diploma in legal practice, I was seated with a lecturer because there's a specific concept in law school that was quite problematic. And he presented it as something that's very easy to grasp. So I went to his office and we were talking. And there was no eye contact because I think he had papers to mark. And we were just having an introductory conversation. Where am I finding challenges? And somewhere he said, "I think you're strong." And immediately, because the chair it had two arms on it. But I remember clutching the chair immediately because now that for me had been processed as a sign of danger. But the moment someone says that, it's time for you to run. But then I also didn't want to appear like I'm overreacting because I'm also not sure. But then my brain is also telling me, "You have seen this twice. You have to run." But I can't. This is someone I'm meeting for the first time. How are you assuming immediately that they're going to pose a danger to you? I do not remember how I managed to leave the office, but I don't remember anything else that he could have said because now I was fighting for my life, literally. I don't know if he even, I don't think, because he could have mentioned it, he would have maybe asked, "What is the matter?" But I remember clutching onto the two arms, like I was trying to suppress the emotion, like calm down. But my mind was telling me it's time to run. And I couldn't do it. Now that my memory only has me in the lecturer's office and then going back to my room. And now every other thing still starts bubbling up. The failed relationships, the friendships that have scarred me, so many, everything starts coming. And it's all demanding that you cater to it, but you don't even have the tools. You can't name these things, you can't explain them. And because you're in the victim mode and you have also internalized the word strong as a sign of danger, you feel like now the lecturer is ready to get you. So when I went to my room now, I started feeling like it's time. I think now it's time to just close this. I can't live my life like this. Nothing is working anyway, even if I pray. How about I just save myself from danger? And I didn't have the tools of doing that. But I know there were cryptic messages I was posting on Facebook. And because there was someone, I had reported the old man to the event organizers. It wasn't actually a report. I was still glossing over it because I felt like I think I'm overreacting. Because there's a friend of mine that I went to speak to. I thought she was my age mate. We had been in the same high school, but she was next to my cousin's shop. And so I went and told her, I was like, "Can you imagine this happened?" And she laughed. She was like, "You're childish. That is normal." And I was telling her, "This is an old man." I was like, "But he didn't do anything." I was like, so I was also not confident enough to speak of my experience with, because I remember when I went to Kenya shortly after, it's like I now wanted to fight every old man. I remember I was in Mombasa at a restaurant waiting for my biryani, my rice biryani, and an old man walked into the restaurant, and I immediately want to stand and fight.
To defend yourself.
To fight. Like, why are you people going after young girls? But this man doesn't have that. He's not in my story. Sometime still, I was in Wandega and there was a man across, an old man. I wanted to speak for some time.
I think this is trauma that
yes,
the experience, and I think a lot of girls are going through this. The girls at the university, the girls in high school, have
high
going
school.
through this. High school, yes, because you've seen so many men who are going for the senior 6 and senior 5, even senior 4.
Yeah.
And in this case, others are accepting it. Others find it okay that if a man is 40 and you're 18, 20, it's very okay. A man is a man. And I think if we talk about culture, culturally, people are told that when a man approaches you, no matter the age, he's the man because he's a man and you're female. And this sometimes leaves so many young women traumatized, like you, because I call this trauma of seeing somebody you treasure as a father, as a grandfather, approaching you for the wife.
I didn't treasure him. Point of correction.
Okay.
Like at this point, I'm like, point of correction. I did not treasure him.
Okay, any male.
He was old.
Yeah, no.
To me,
male who is, of course, old, you see,
he was worthy of respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Okay? You treasure them as parents of your friends and everything. But here they come in and say, I want to date you, or you're my girlfriend. I think sometimes it
and I was telling him that
brain.
he's old and he said I'm young. I'm like,
yeah.
What is going on here?
Maybe where we come from, sometimes culture affects us in one way or the other.
It does.
The upbringing of our cultures.
Very much.
Yeah. Because if you tell somebody when you were 21, and then you tell someone, and then they use the word senga, some sengas will tell you, no, you should be lucky that there's an old man who was approached to marry you at your age, because so many women have no men, have no husbands. Yes.
I don't know about that. I wasn't exposed to that side of it, but I feel like we have gaps that do not have the answers that we would be looking for as young girls, because we are trained to venerate our elders in society. So you might hear stories and you do not expect it at your doorstep. So here you are, hello sir, and this sir is taking you to the point of suggesting that we can stay naked together. And you don't have information of how to deal with that. So it's a thing. That's why now for some time, I don't know how many months, every old man was like, what is wrong with you guys? He was supposed to respect you. To me now, just him standing in the picture of an old man, now for me, every old man, it's like I was ready to fight. That's why you find some people attacking people when they don't know each other, but they are just, they're finding an outlet for the things that are troubling them.
Well, it's amazing that you've managed to triumph over this. I know growing up is a process. And we all have that process we've gone through. And sometimes because we are not listened to, some permanently get permanent damage out of these things that we take lightly, especially to the girl child. And you as a girl child, I know that you've transformed through all this process. I have been watching you, seeing you, and into advocacy for mental health. Tell us briefly, how do you choose to go into advocacy?
I didn't even choose. I just found myself in that position because a friend called me to a space. I think it was more like group sharing. It came with that kind of mode of operation, that it was group sharing. And I could have gone for 2 or 3, and I hear the word mental health. And so I started reading more about mental health. I'm like, so all these things that I've been struggling with actually fall in this. When I started sharing the cryptic messages on Facebook, there is a person that was aware of the old man issue. And I think she managed to undo the crypticness of it. she sent me a message and asked, because I was 2017.
Yeah.
She sent me a message and asked what the problem was. Because I kept sending out so many posts. I don't remember what it is I was saying, but she managed to decode that and came and asked. And because she knew of the old man, now I had the language of explaining my fear of the word strong. And she explained to me, and she said, when you go back home, try to find a professional counselor.
Yeah.
Now, these are things that you just see in movies, and you don't think so much of them. You're just looking for where the plot goes from the beginning to the middle to the end. You don't think so much about them. And so when I see her message advising that I look for a professional counselor back in Uganda, I'm like, okay, is that a thing? Okay, I think I'm not well. Now, just the small awareness of, okay, I think I'm not well. Okay, we shall look for support, kind of calmed the storm. I managed to do life while also thinking, she said this. I think we shall find out. And towards the end of that year is when I landed on some YouTube videos. The lady is called Lisa Nichols, and she was sharing her story of how she had been clinically depressed, and she started working so hard to overturn her life. Now, even in the wording of clinically depressed, it wasn't a thing for me. I didn't think so much about it. Like, I didn't give it so much thought. But in her telling the story, I could relate. Like, the experience wasn't the same, and yet there were factors in it that felt like were representing my experience. And so I started listening to her. I think I got majorly, mobile data was very expensive. So I downloaded 2 videos of hers that I think I listened to every single day. The same information in her telling her story. Every time I would feel like maybe things are going down the rabbit hole, I would play Where is Lisa Nichols and play her videos. It was actually her and TD Jex. I landed on them in that same period. And I think I went on like that for probably like 6 months, and life started becoming better. People go for therapy. I wasn't aware of therapy. But these 2 people, their words are the ones that started pulling me out of the dark. And it is through Lisa Nichols that I also learned that I had a hand in my own suffering. Because I think there is this mirror exercise that she usually talks about. Okay, now when I healed, I stopped listening to her. God forgive me for you. Maybe she just came for that specific purpose. But there was this mirror exercise where I think there were 3 prompts where you had to stand in front of the mirror and talk about, list 5 things that you love about yourself.
More like affirmations.
Yeah, list 5 things that you're proud of that you could do, and then list the 5 things that you'll forgive yourself for. Now, it was easy for me to probably mention what I was proud of, but what I love about myself, what is that? What is there to love about myself? I had no answers to that. And then getting to the 5 things that I had to forgive myself for, that tore me apart. Because I realized, Kumbe, I'm not my own friend also.
You need to know yourself much more better than others know you.
Yeah. So for me, I started my healing from there, but still I did not have the language of mental health until I moved to these spaces. And then I started reading more about it. And I'm like, wait, people are actually going through this, but aren't aware. We do not have the language, and we continue to struggle in like we were speaking earlier about ignorance. You continue staying in the dark without ever hoping that you would move to the next day or next year. Yeah, so that's how I started. I started with the conversations on the podcast, which is should have been.
Please go ahead.
Go ahead to do it.
Tell us about those spaces that people would also tap into.
The
spaces people would also tap into.
The spaces.
Yes,
where it all started. I think it stopped.
Well, listen to
Oh, the podcast is was on all podcast platforms. Hashtime with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. Hashtime.
Yeah.
Like HASH. Time with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. Started with the podcast, but in the advocacy, I realized comments coming from listeners asking things like, saying things like, "What you're advocating for, we love it," and we didn't know about this whole thing, but now we are trying to seek help, and these guys are expensive. At some point, I was actually guilty. Like, okay, am I solving a problem or am I worsening it? Because it's one thing to be unaware that you're struggling, but you can't express that's what it is that you're struggling with, and then when you seek help, you can't afford it. So I was like, am I making it worse? So there was some guilt that came in. I was like, I think I should stop talking about mental health. But then I came up with 2 extra solutions towards the end of 2023, where we had the mental health garage session, the very first one. I partnered with some of the psychologists that I'd been in conversations with for that length of time, and they subsidized their fees, and people met them, and they got the professional support that they could have sought. And in that season, still, because the solutions keep begging questions. Okay, the podcast is there every Wednesday. Tick. So someone can listen in weekly. The mental health garage stations are there. Great. But what happens in between? When the podcast happens on a weekly basis, between that Wednesday and another Wednesday, what does life look like? Can you weather the storm, or you're just waiting to lean into the podcast full time? The spaces between the mental health garage sessions, can you weather the storms of life, or we can have something that you can use on a daily basis to manage whatever hits you? And this is where the products come in. Yeah, I feel like I try to check social media for mental health product lines, and it looks like it's only mine. So
it's only mine. Yeah, it's amazing. For those who are watching this, I would want to tell you that she's amazing. She's created things that are going, or materials that help people with mental health. As she says, as she searches over the internet, she finds that only her product is what is there.
I have not found anything described as a mental health product line, but maybe they're there. I don't know.
Briefly, take us through this. And for those who are watching, Nabuguzi Kiwanuka, she's on Facebook, she's on Twitter, she's on LinkedIn. Get her, and you'll be able to see amazing products for your son, for your daughter, for yourself as well, as we go through this journey of mental health. You know, when we talk about mental health, I think mental health has been there ever since this world began. But because of our cultures and where we come from, the background and everything, we've always channeled our mental health issues to witchcraft, to the other side of culture, to the other side of madness. People have turned as mad. And it's now that actually the world is coming up to say it's not madness. It's not actually witchcraft.
Can I comment on that?
Please go ahead.
So I do not want to throw our culture and tradition as Africans in the way how Africa was introduced to me when I was 11. Because they told me in my SST class that hadn't it been for Vasco da Gama, we would never have been discovered. It was a dark continent. But I beg to disagree with that. There are traditions and norms or practices that we have as Africans that helped us manage emotionally. I'm still doing research. Of course, it's not active, but I intend to go deeper in that to fully understand the way how Africans handled emotional storms. But I will mostly go to what grief looked like, grief in the face of loss of a loved one. I do not know how your culture deals with this, but in the Ganda culture, when someone dies in the home, you don't just leave at the bar, you don't just part ways at the gravesite. There are people who stay around at home. It's not to party. It is silence. It is not spoken about that we are here to support you, but they just know that is the norm. You keep around.
The days go by.
But this is them helping you through the process of grief.
One by one. Process.
Exactly, because I struggled with my grandmother's loss for a very long time. And it was until I spoke to a psychologist that she explained to me that I didn't go through all the phases of grief because I did not bury her. Because I was getting asthmatic attacks and everything, people decided to keep me away. So my only memory is me trying to wake her up, and she is not waking up. And I'm turning to my mother and asking what happened, because I'm picked right from school. And that's when everything closes. And the next, I don't see my grandmother anymore. I did not get to bury her. But tradition helps people go through all these things. There are people that feel like, oh, because now I'm Christian, I don't do these things. Okay, so how are you dealing with this support? The PTSD that we talk about, I've seen some of the things that, how back then, in the African traditional society, when people went to war, when the men went to war, there were ways they were managing, I think, or did they call it sucking blood, the stagnant blood on top, and helping them to just release them from the tension and all those things. So there were practices then. It just did not have a specific language of mental health, the encompassing language of mental health, and then we start breaking down things. Yeah. For some, of course, I will not also dispel the fact that there are people that have that mindset that witchcraft is it and it's everything. But yeah.
Would I be wrong if I identified you as Pan-Africanist?
No.
She is a Pan-Africanist. She's a Pan-Africanist, and she confirms she is a Pan. With that story, we're going to dive into it another time of her line of being a Pan-African and how
I am not coming back.
I'll have to call this thing again to talk about Pan-Africanism. So dive into the products. Tell us about the products that you put in place to help, in that line of mental health. What are those products, and how do people get to access these products? I've been seeing you in T-shirts, books, and everything. Please give us all the information, because I'm sure that people should be able to contact you in this line.
So we have them here as well. This is the very first one.
Yeah.
You show it to the camera.
This is nice. This is a very nice book. I hope you can get it closer to the people watching. Tell us about this book.
I mostly had my agements in mind.
Called, how do you read this?
This is a product line.
Yes.
Thrive is the product line.
Yes.
It's a combination of it's a combination of two words. Thrive with ease.
Yes.
Yeah, like trying to manage life. So I had my agements in mind because my advocacy was mostly looking at the African millennials. And the very first people that had an experience of it were the people that showed up for the very first mental health garage session. I was testing the prototype before releasing it to the public. And I was worried I'll have to explain a lot about what has to be done and how this works. But I was very glad that there were people that just picked it up and they're like, you have coloring books? I want. I'm like, how much? I'm like, I don't know yet. We have not yet decided. And so I had people in mind. And the way how I release some of the things, the very first ones that I'm doing are based off of my experience, because I would understand better what works in what situation. I'm low-key an artist, and I found myself maybe crying, and if there is a pen and a paper, I start sketching. And before you know it, I'm now concentrated on finishing this.
Yeah.
And we're done. I'm like, oh, possible we're crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be okay.
Yeah.
You know. So this is the very one I had in mind at the beginning. But now parents started putting me on pressure.
Yeah.
They tied their children on me,
Yeah.
and I had to give them answers
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
The very first one, of course, that answered the question was a Christmas edition.
Yeah.
And then this is the second one. And for the Christmas edition, I saw toddlers fighting, and this is where it comes in.
Right. Toddlers.
Yeah, for the toddlers. This one is non-majorly for mental health, of course, but just helping kids go away from screens, do them, exercise their the fine motor skills, and also the eye and hand coordination. That's where the toddlers come in, really.
Well, it's an amazing book, guys. As parents, look at this book. It's called The Toddler Coloring Book.
Yeah.
By Nabu Network.
That's true.
That's the brand. Nabu Network. Do you have a website?
Yeah. Oh, Ugandans are making me struggle though.
Yes, you have
service providers.
I know.
What?
That shouldn't be a problem. We will solve it. So we'll give you somebody who will handle and make sure the website is smart.
What?
Clean. Yes.
I am facing it rough, my dear.
So this is a nice book for the parents out there. As we talk about mental health, children must be also trained to go through this process.
Actually, when you talk about the children going through the process, this specific one, I designed it in a manner that opens a child to, let me show you. So this is more like an introduction of what life looks like to a child. This is for 5 to 12. You can just read that and see.
Guys, I would read for you guys. It's carrying this book is like painting the journey of life. It has both easy and detailed pages, reminding us that every day is an adventure waiting for you, waiting for your unique touch. Enjoy. Right?
Fridays.
Fridays. Oh, thrive with ease.
No, it's Fridays. So what is happening here is that Monday could be easy, but Tuesday will be detailed. But don't skip Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday comes.
Yeah.
Can you actually sit through Tuesday?
Okay.
And get to the end of the day?
Okay.
And Wednesday might come a little lighter.
Yes.
And then there comes more details.
Yes.
So what I want in this, what I was looking at for the creation of this or designing it in this structure is that kids don't skip saying, this is easier, this is scary, I don't want to do it. I want this one, that kind of thing.
So in other words, life is not straight. Right?
Exactly. But then I'm also not trying to build a culture that assures someone
that life must be difficult all the time.
No. That life is going to be cassava kanyama all the time. There are chances that the way how I've experienced this year, I cannot explain. Yeah. And I was laughing at myself thinking about this book that I designed this for children, and yet here is 2025 trying to finish me alive. Yeah. So chances are that there will be detailed pages for a long period of time. Yeah. But are you going to go through that? Yeah. If you're hearing things like, oh, during the UNEB, children are more suicidal than the other periods. Yeah. Do they have the skills to go through life? Yeah. Yeah. And at the beginning of the year, we introduced the African woman. Yeah. African woman because as women, we have our own struggles. African women, specifically. I think we're having a small chit chat earlier. Yeah. And where there is self-sabotage, self-doubt as the African woman, can we have a story or a coloring book that tells our story and reminds us that we can take up life and, manage it? The anxieties of taking up space in big offices, the guilt that people carry at the back of their mind, feeling like, oh, I don't want to take up a big office because there is a whole narrative that whoever is up there has slept their way to the top. Yeah. But there are stories in here. Yeah. They are small autobiographies of the women that have trailblazed in different sectors. Can you be one of them? Yeah.
And this is Unstressed Coloring Book, The African Woman Edition. You can look for this book. It's amazing. It's wonderful. And that is from Abu Network. Nabu Network, not Abu. Nabu Network. And she was called Nabuguzi Kiwanuka, and that's her brand. When you go to Facebook, and I'm going to tag her on our Facebook page and wherever she is. Yes. So this, the Teen Personal Development Journal. Okay, this is also a very nice, interesting book that yes, you do look at it, and I think as we as parents choose the right book for your children,
right,
and take them through and make sure that what they are reading is authentic and is of value to them. So this is an amazing book as well, the Teen Personal Development. Guys, if you can introduce your teens, this kind of amazing books, but are they affordable? That's another question.
Very much so.
So,
Very
so
much
if
so.
you get her, please support her, and let's walk the journey of mental health and make sure that everybody is mentally perfect. And should they go off due to the life challenges, of course, as you know, she's been a life of, through her life of love, which she still says, does love really exist?
I did not ask that.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Love exists.
It exists.
Love will exist.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how and what effort we put in to make sure that love is everywhere and love blossoms at the end of the day. Your parting shot with us, and please don't forget, if people have to look for you to support you in the kind of work that you're doing, and by that I must appreciate you for this, for being very innovative at your tender age, being very innovative, because most people are not innovative in this life that they're doing. So in your parting shots, to the girl child out there, or to anyone who's suffering or going through mental health.
Seasons change.
Seasons change. Things change. Life changes.
Seasons change.
Wow.
The
you
days,
can see her brand.
Yeah, it's not a
Seasons
brand.
change.
This is not a brand. How many brands are you representing?
Yes.
This is just a product.
It's the product. Seasons change, and she has nice t-shirts as well.
Seasons change.
I've seen you with t-shirts as well. Is that a t-shirt that you'll be selling now?
I'm wearing one now.
One. Yeah, she sells the good t-shirts that sends out the message, and I love black as well. I'm hoping with one gift for me. But in case we do want to get you, where do they find you?
I'm the same name, social media wise, wherever you go.
Yeah.
Although I'm a little bit skeptical around Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, X.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to build the Instagram side, but mostly on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Go to our Facebook page. You'll be able to get her contact. Can you give us our contact if you don't mind?
0770.
Please look into the camera and give us your contact.
0770 338 440.
Repeat it, please.
0770 338 440.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure having a story. And if you're out there and you're a young girl, woman, or anyone that is going through mental health, please, you can
mental health challenges.
Mental health challenges.
Yeah.
You can make it. You can recover. Life is fresh.
Seasons change.
Seasons change, as she says. Yeah. Please do not suffer alone. Do not go through these hard times. People are there to help. And she's one of the people that can help you through all this journey. Thank you. So see you again in our next podcast.